Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, or whenever you're watching. Welcome to another episode of Coaching for Coaches. I'm joined today by the amazing, magnificent Anna. How are you, Anna?
I am fantastic, thank you.
Amazing, amazing. So, Anna, I know obviously before this conversation, you sent me a brief of things for us to potentially talk about, and we'll definitely get into that. But I want to start by asking a question that I use a lot, and I think it's really powerful. One of my coaches uses it on me, and even though I know it's coming, it never seems to lose its power. Um,
Mhm.
it is the 24th of November, 2021. Um, let's imagine that we fast forwarded to the 24th of November, 2022. And whether it's by coincidence or design, you and I are having a conversation. And I'm just asking you, happening, what's going on, like, how's life, all this kind of stuff. And in your words, you say something like, the last year's been amazing. Everything that I wanted to be and do and create has manifested itself.
Mhm.
And then I ask you, well, what's the secret? Like, what's been like some of the tell us so that we can learn from it. What's been some of the key things that have made the biggest difference? And in your words, you say, well, Miles, you and I had a conversation on this time last year, and there were some things that we spoke about in that conversation that um, made a really big difference in terms of what I've been able to do and be and create. And that conversation was so important and so powerful that it really was a game changer for me over the past year. Um, for that actually to be true, Anna, what would be like the headline thing that we'd have to speak about in this call today for that?
Wow, um, it's a good question. I think it would come down to in the end. Um, I mean, mindset, literally consistent uh, working on mindset and myself, consistency. I'm establishing a business soon, and I have some goals in the business that I want to achieve in the next 12 months. And I know what I have to do. I know, like you talk about all the time, common sense isn't always common practice. So yeah, I think it's down to sort of believing in my ability to prove and be clear with my goal and consistent with them week by week, month by month. I think that is what it will come down to. But what exactly would be the focus for this conversation? I'm a bit confused, to be honest.
Cool. I learned something many years ago when I first studied with Tony Robbins, that
Mm.
confusion is the step before a breakthrough.
Ooh, I like
So,
that.
so confusion when you don't. So I believe that in life, there's the things that we know,
Mm.
there's the things that we know we don't know, there's the things that we don't know that we don't know. And it's those things that we don't know that we don't know that when we know them, we feel like we have the biggest enlightenment because we didn't know that we didn't know those things. So right now,
Exactly.
you and I have things in our life that we don't know that we don't know.
Hmm.
And when we get something come in that you're like, oh my word, that's like enlightening, that's one of those things happening.
Hmm.
So great. that you're confused, that's a step away from a breakthrough. So there's a few things that I've latched onto already. One of them is the word consistency. Now, for the perspective of the viewers, I'm going to let you in on a little something, and I know Anna won't mind me sharing this. But Anna came on our foundation level coach training a few weeks ago, then enrolled and did our master coach certification. So she's a fully certified master coach. And she's also in our academy. She's recently joined our mastermind as well. The first time I saw Anna on Zoom, she was on a spin bike in her house. And I remember telling my wife, there's a girl on our training. She's on a spin bike. And my wife was like, that's amazing. Because for those of you that don't know, me and Sati, you might not know this, Anna, Sati and I met on an indoor cycling course.
Mm-hmm.
And I proposed to her in the studio where we met, not the same day, like 2 years later. But,
oh my God.
So I proposed to her in the spin studio. I remember her saying like crying, what are you doing proposing in the spin studio? It stinks of sweat. It's funny. But the reason why I say that is because my perception about a person attending a workshop on a spin bike is that fitness is an area where, tell me if I'm wrong, is an area, my perception is that's an area where you've got some consistency going.
Yes.
Cool. So I believe that sometimes the simplest route to going from in an area of our life where we go, right, I don't have consistency there. Mm-hmm. We can intellectualize it, strategy, get into the deep roots of why not, and all this kind of stuff. Or, like I'm always saying, get a mentor in an area that you haven't achieved something, and they collapse the time frame, and they just give you the, well, if you go this way, you'll get there faster. Mm-hmm. So I believe that there's a recipe to your consistency with fitness that we could model, we could map across to the area that maybe where you feel you're not consistent. Look at that recipe and just go, we just need to map across that exact same recipe to that area. And if we do exactly the same recipe in the same ingredients with the same order, with patience and lag time, because, you know, like in fitness, you don't get the body of your dreams overnight. It's progress, patience, right? Mm-hmm. I believe that there could be a recipe there that we need to just follow that. So I'm curious. I want to know. Teach it to me like I'm not consistent in my fitness. How do I go if I came to you as a coach and said, Anna, my problem is consistency, specifically fitness. What would you say to me? Like, what do I need to do? What's the recipe if you were coaching me specifically around how to get consistent in my fitness?
I would say that the first thing I would say to you would be that you have to sort of clear up or define your goals.
I'm just making notes, by the way. I'm not like playing with the phone.
Those.
Okay. So clearly defined. So yeah, clearly defined goals.
Yeah, and why you want to achieve those goals? Like, what is driving you to it? What is the pain that you will get away from by doing it? Like, how will your life improve by doing it? And I think that's very important to have that clear, because or else you won't, consistently do something that's hard, and especially in the beginning, and wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym, whatever. Nobody's going to do that except having a very clear goal and why you're doing it. So that's one key to consistency for sure.
Amazing. So we've got clearly defined goals. We've got the why for the goals, the drive, how your life will improve, the consequences of not fulfilling those clearly defined goals. Anything else?
I mean, then it's a matter of, like in fitness, it's about also finding out what kind of exercise you enjoy, and take time and sort of exploring that, and not just try one thing and then, oh, I don't like that, and everybody can find something that they like a method, so everybody can find their method of sort of keeping fit. And also then you have to sort of plan time, make time for it, create space for that to happen, and be consistent, or hold yourself accountable, or have at least accountability system to sort of attend. And then of course, nutrition, as we know as well, is also a part of it. So yeah, create passion around it, I think, sort of, and be patient. I'm saying so many things that I'm just like, yeah, Anna. Consistency, patience, all that.
Good, like it. Anything else?
Having support, having a coach, of course, is like like you say, like having a coach or a mentor is like collapsing time frame. Sort of, it will probably get you fitter faster to have a coach, because then you have somebody who's always accountable for you have accountability with which helps, or like a peer group, people that you're working out with, and you can sort of encourage each other. There are so many ways those are a few of it. Probably forgetting something though.
But we've got some good. If I wasn't consistent with fitness, if I just did all those things, would there be a high likelihood that I would get what I want if I just followed the things you just said? Like if I didn't do anything else other than have clearly defined goals, have a really strong why, have consequences for not following through, training I enjoyed, created the space, accountability, good nutrition, patience, support in the form of peer group, coach, mentor. If I just did those things, would there be a higher or lower probability of me being successful with my fitness?
I think it would be very hard for you to fail with all these things in place. I think it would be really hard.
Okay. Love it. So I guess my next question is then, which of those elements of that recipe most jumps out at you as do you feel that is missing for you when it comes to, and the area you said you felt that you'd not got the consistency at the moment, I think you said with business, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
it comes to my, it
okay.
comes to my goals.
So out of all of those ingredients, which ones would you say are the key ones that you haven't got, or you've got the least clarity on?
I have defined my goals, or I'm working on it, and they will be clear. And I have made sure that I will have accountability system because I enrolled in the academy. So then I know I have a support system and can sort of, I know I will be able to grow while I'm doing it. And that's something that I know is a big part of it, the success in my business for sure. Where I am lacking is, I mean, it's mindset, it's self-doubt, and former failures back in the past, and this train of thought of going, oh, then you're just gonna fail, or go to the same pattern. Energy sometimes I it's hard for me to keep up energy, even though it's probably much better these days when I'm actually active and keeping fit. So I mean, I'm much better there than I used to. I mean, fitness and health is like a crucial part in all of this for me, and it's, you know, for me it's those two sort of mentality and physical health, I mean, have to go together. But yeah, it's my mentality that I'm still working on, and it's not, I don't feel it's there, but I'm far ahead, you know, from where I was maybe a year ago, or only a year ago probably. So yeah, it's yeah, maybe the sort of this feeling of feeling alone in a way, but you know I won't be alone now, since I'm sort of, but still like physically alone in Iceland. But I know that won't be a problem because of the academy. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but mindset, then it's I guess a matter of yeah, clearing up my goals even better while I'm doing it. You know, I think it's just something I have to work harder on, and go through more processes, just like, I mean, like trying out different kinds of exercises, finding what works for me to be consistent, what I like, how to appreciate myself enough to believe that I, you know, deserve, or, you know, am allowed to succeed. I think many of us struggle with that, to sort of just feeling that we are allowed to succeed. So yeah, I know it's a very long answer.
A good answer. A good answer. I want to talk to you about self-doubt. I want to share something with you. A friend of mine, Sarah, recently became a paramedic. So she's working in the emergency services. She's working as an ambulance driver, and she has been the what's called a number two for the past kind of 18 months. So how they send them out is they have a period of time where they're a number two, where they are assisting the number one on any medical emergencies. And then they kind of graduate to become a number one, where they have their own ambulance, and then they are responsible for being the first responder, you know, giving CPR, mouth to mouth, all the kind of stuff, save the life, kind of the pressure goes on to them. And she recently became a number one. And the day that she got called to be number one, normally what happens is when you become a number one as a paramedic, you go through a few weeks of like sprained ankles, like people getting their foot stuck in drains, and like really like silly things where there's no real issue, and you get a real nice, easy settling in period. Her first day as a number one, 999, lady in her 70s having a heart attack. And she was shitting herself, like, because she's the number one and she's going to be responsible for going to respond and hopefully save this life. She was very scared, right? Because, you know, it's her first day as number one and she's actually going to potentially be kind of life or death for this lady. Got a very long story short, the lady was fine, gave her CPR, all that kind of stuff, got her to hospital. Not to keep everyone in suspense, the old lady's fine, she's okay. 10 minutes before that, getting in the ambulance, she's like sweaty palms, nervous, petrified, shaking, like, oh, why today? Like, it's my first day, all this kind of stuff. But then it just kicks in, because she's like, I've got a mission, I've got to serve this woman. All of a sudden, she just goes into the zone and she just gets the job done. I believe that most rookie amateur coaches, when they start out, they don't see what they're doing as a mission that's like life or death.
Mm-hmm.
So the challenge that I want to set you, Anna, and I want to set every coach that's watching, is to figure out how to make your business so big as a mission that self-doubt just goes out the window. Because my friend didn't have time for self-doubt because she was too focused on saving her life. Self-doubt only happens when we're looking and we're focusing on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when we focus on how can I serve, how can I make a difference, how can I contribute, all of a sudden there is no need for self-doubt because we're not focused on being validated or not. We're focused on, am I going to make a difference and serve? And it isn't Miles has just said it and that's it, transformed overnight. But it is about, you obviously have a list of really compelling reasons for fitness. You might not know them consciously, but unconsciously you do. Mm-hmm. If you were to put down on paper 20 reasons why you became a coach, and you forced yourself to make at least half of those reasons things that would mean nothing about you, you're not going to gain anything. It's not about money or anything about Anna. It's just about the difference in people's lives that you want to make. And you put that somewhere where you could see that every day. I believe that would make a big difference in those moments where you start to feel self-doubt.
Exactly. I agree.
Like I have statistics such as 800,000 people every year commit suicide. Every 40 seconds, one person commits suicide. 36.6% of marriages end in divorce. I believe our coaching program can save some of those lives and some of those marriages.
Exactly. I agree.
Just a belief. Do I know that's true? I don't know. But I have to believe that for me to have this business be a mission that isn't about income and money, but is about something that's spreading a positive pandemic of good, loving energy into the world. Mm-hmm. So exactly. then it becomes a mission. Like when I used to sell fitness, it was like, if I don't sell this membership to this person and they're overweight, I used to get this vision like, they're overweight, they're going to get high blood pressure, then they're going to get high cholesterol, then they're going to have a heart attack, then they're going to die. Mm-hmm. Because that is the logical sequence of what happens to a person before they die of bad health. They don't just drop dead. They became unhealthy for years, and then it just crept up on them, and then bang, it's too late, dead. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with coaching, right? People have a problem in their life, they don't resolve it, they don't talk about it, they bottle it up. It keeps bottled up. Bottled up, bottled up, bottled up, bottled up. It turns into arguments, turns into anger, turns into aggression, turns into domestic violence, and it just spirals. And I believe that your coaching can prevent those things.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's true, and it's very good to be reminded of this. I think it's a very great key to focus on other people and not yourself. I think that's it's cool, but it's, something that you have to implement and remember, basically, because we're so consumed with ourselves, I guess, and I don't know if that has something to do with our Western lifestyle and social media and everything.
Yeah.
But we also have a chance to help so many people with all those technology as well. It's a great reason. Thank you.
I've been coached in such a way to feel when it's appropriate to stop coaching. We could carry on this conversation, but I believe there's real power in staying where we are with what we just spoke about, taking the time to write down the reasons why you're doing this, putting it somewhere that you're going to see it every day, and spending some time just to reflect and think about what are those reasons, why those reasons, and just reflecting on. So with that, I'm gonna take you off the coaching hot seat. I'm gonna challenge you to do that, to come up with that list of reasons. I always say 20. If you can come up with more than 20, the more reasons that you have why to do something, the more motivation there will be to actually follow through.
True.
Yeah. So that, you break up the word motivation, you have motive to take action. So taking action, most people find it easy-ish to take action, but then they often run out of momentum. And the reason is because their motive wasn't strong enough. It's like driving on a long journey, knowing that you don't have enough fuel in the car, but still driving on the long journey anyway. That intellectually we would know eventually we're going to have to stop and get fuel. Motive, like strong reasons, compelling reasons, are the fuel. Yeah. They're the fuel that keeps the vehicle going.
Exactly.
So I'll leave you with that.
Thanks. Yeah, this is something I'll definitely work on. No, this is my mission.
Good.
I also ordered some, what do you call it?
Magic whiteboard. Yeah, amazing.
I'm gonna use it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very good. I've got it all around the house. It's and it's good because it's so big. And yeah, definitely recommend. The bigger the better with anything that your goals. In the kitchen, I have my goals. I have my mission statement. So yeah, really, really important. Really important. Anna, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to take you off the coaching hot seat. It's been a pleasure. Go get that list done. And
I will.
Yeah. Well done.
It's going to be transformational.
It is. Well done.
Thank you so much.